運動西暦2026年。俺のだ皆殺しだ我々はイランのミサイル網と重要インフラを全て攻撃した。任務は完璧だ。全員直ちにエイブラハム・リンカーンへ帰還しろ。放て
You know it's bad when you got your own anime. you know it's on another level when you got your own anime showing you what's to come. First, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to our brothers and the few sisters is out there. Onto the Zyphornis from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. I mean, this is a little dope anime. Brother, I posted it up. Find it fascinating, interesting. Because simultaneously, was it today? Yeah, it was today. Well, by the time I put this out, but the next day, that Orange Man had, I guess, posted or said something to the effect of all Americans should leave Iran. And we already know why this individual wants to attack on behalf of that gutter state. And what the word on the streets is that the deal that they've been trying to get with Iran, which was not really a deal, they said that Iran is well prepared. I mean, it's quite obvious that Iran would be extremely prepared from the last time they were supposed to have a sit down. So they go in there blindly stupid, you know. So this thing is about to break loose, you know. And Tawadi Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Makakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. All right, because these things need to happen in order for us to get to the kingdom. And prophesying these things many years ago, through the Spirit, understanding what we've been taught, understand what the Scripture's been saying, and in our manly mind, we thought it was going to be, they was going to do a false flag event, which they still can do. I'm not knocking that, but to justify them going into Iran. But now they don't need to do a false flag because America is the aggressor, which I gotta quote it. I have to get it. That's my favorite scripture when it comes down to this subject. Forgive me. Hey, if we keep repeating the same scriptures, don't get mad at us. That's the best way I can say. Is what the spirit of the Yahweh Shem Yahushai wants to be said, and each individual brother has a certain job, a certain order. All right, within the Lord. So sometimes you may hear brothers bring out the same stuff. Does it negates the fact we are living in the embodiment of prophecy? So we're saying before things happen consistently, And the Lord repeated himself. Jeremiah 50:24 says, I have laid a snare for thee, and that are also taken. So the Lord has laid a trap for Babylon, all right, for Esau. And that trapping really, matter of fact, let me go to that. So I'm on the subject. I'm in the neighborhood. Let me use the other scripture. And this is very important for people to grasp, to understand that the Lord is the one that's responsible for everything that's going on. All credit goes to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. Jeremiah 49:20. Is it 20? Yeah, it's 20. It says, therefore hid. No, I'm sorry, it's not 20. See? I knew something. The 22? Oh, now you want to act up. Jeremiah 49. Yeah, it's 20. It says, therefore hear the word. Sorry. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that have taken against Edom, and his purpose that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate. So the least of the flock out of all nations, all right, amongst Edom, the most hated of them all right, Amalek is drawing America to a war that when it does happen, there's no turning point. There's no turning back from it. That's the trap. All right. We are seeing the trap being set. Every step that Esau have done, it was to his own demise, to his own destruction. So this this thing that's happening is a sure indication of the demise and the destruction of Esau. All right. This is a sure thing. So the scripture says the least of the flock, which is Edom. I'm sorry, Amalek. All right. The small hatters. Because the last time this guy came, Benjamin, not a Jew. No, the time before he came, he gave Trump what to do. All right, that's why Trump went he was so adamant to get into Venezuela to what? Well, they got oil. This is how he's probably thinking, because there's different type of oils, and it takes a while for the one in the water the sorry the oil in Venezuela to be compatible or not compatible to match up to what they use here in the United States. The United States of America has been so hooked on the Middle Eastern oil that it can't let it go. The world has gotten hooked to it. That's why when he took over Venezuela, the majority of the companies, his friends, they didn't want to go into Venezuela even after they quote unquote took over. But he did it on behalf of to keep Benjamin Notaju happy, and making him happy is what's going to lead America to its own demise, its own destruction. Okay, it says I have. It said I have laid a snare for thee, and thou also taken, O Babylon. Right, and Babylon is America. Okay, that was not aware that are found also in court because they have strive against the Lord. And when you watch the anime, which was kind of dope, there's a couple of scenes where in this little anime, they were showing that the rich people that was drinking and like, yeah, we got this, we're gonna we're gonna just go in there and destroy them, and like it's just gonna be a walk in the park like we do everybody else. That's how they acting, especially after the fact that they did attack. Um, they killed a lot of generals of Iran. They did a lot. Let's put it this way: they did a lot, and it looked like they got away scot free. But all the experts, the true experts, are saying that Iran is very precise on what targets they're gonna attack. Like this scene right here. It's like okay, because they could get what you call it, the straits. What's it called again? Damn, not the no, not the Suez Canal. There's another canal, Slovakia. They could shut that shit down. Once they shut that shit down, the same world that's been addicted to their oil, got them hook, line, and sink. Well, then they're gonna be suffering. So they gotta be very cautious how they do this, but come to realization this was all part of the plan from the very beginning. Which I always go into is, you know, shout out to the apostles and the bishops. They always talk about this. This is the Albert Pike letter to Giuseppe Mazzini, and it says right here. However, this letter is widely considered a hoax. Now, any common person that has common sense would, when I read a couple of these things, can clearly see this wasn't a hoax. So Albert Pike letter referenced the alleged 1871. So this is prior to everything. A letter from the American Freemason Albert Pike to Italian revolutionary Giuseppe Mazzini, which supposedly outlined plans for 3 world wars to establish a new world order. Right? So they're saying this is a hoax. I did something that they made up. Let's see how if it lines up with everything that is being said. It says, according to the conspiracy theory, once you hear that, people just turn off. Oh, he's just bringing up something that doesn't matter. But once again, use your brain. All right, use that thing that is between your ears and see if it lines up. Because if it lines up, ain't no conspiracy. All right, and sure damn no theory. It's facts. It's popularized in 1940s and the 50s by William Guy Carr. The letter So even right there, it tells you, right? So even if the fact that it was popularized in this point, it still fits everything that's occurring right now. All right. It says 1871 letter outlined the following: First World War, designed to destroy the Tsarist, the Tsar's region in Russia and replace it with communism. That took place. That's not a that's not a theory. That's a fact. Second World War, engineering to increase the influence of communism and create a sovereign state of what? Israel. So did not that happen afterwards? This was popularized what? 1940s and 1950s. So if this guy just he popularized it, he must have known something because he was right on point. Even though the rest of the stuff probably happened after. All right. But here's the kicker. Third World War, designed to be a global conflict between the political Zionists and Islamic leaders, leading to a total economic and social destruction. Now, is that's not occurring right now? Yes, it is. All right. That is definitely happening right now. So these devils think they had all the shit planned out, but they fail to understand these other nations can't fight back. Matter of fact, not only can they fight back, they will fight back. All right. And that's the thing that these elites, they know they will fight back, but they don't know how bad they're going to fight back. That's why the current administration, Nero, mainly Nero, having his mind that he could break them. That dude is proud as all hell, and because he got a couple of lucky shots in, he said the war is over in his mind, but it's far from being over. So, real quick, Second Ezra 15 and 28. Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and a multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, and they all that all they which hear them may fear and trembling. So you read this first of all, the Arabian, which means mixture, and what's pushing those people in the Middle East right now is that they're divided. But what would unite that region? What would cause all these what they call it, the Shiites and Sunnis, who are supposed to be like extreme Muslims and I guess conservative Muslims? What would make them set aside and decide, you know what, enough is enough? This exact thing that anime has shown. All right, that if that happens, that will be the end, the beginning of the end of the United States of America, because Iran is not just by work. Sorry, I gotta say right. Persia is not operating by itself. All right, now they're the most powerful force of that region, but I mean they are the most powerful force of that region because America had it so like they're the last stand, and they believe that they take them out, give a regime change, that they done took over the region. But it's not that is not gonna happen. All right. Also, the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as a wild boars of the wild. I mean of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them. So all those other Arab nations, Arabian nations, Muslim nations are going to come together, and the Carmanians, which are the Persians, is going to join them in wrath. So what Babylon is doing in the Middle East is ultimately uniting these nations that are divided. Henceforth, the letter to Giuseppe Manzini. They have to do that. They have to stir up something because it's clear as day that the quote unquote Zionism is on a whole nother level of what? They're on a whole nother level of bringing in this world war to come to fruition. They're full gun ho, but they fail to understand doing what they're doing is going to unite these nations to destroy Babylon. It's mainly they can't get to America. So what is the best bet? Oh, go after the nation that America has been protecting. It's that simple. Now that state, which they're not prepared. That's why a lot of experts are saying that they're not fully prepared for an onslaught from Iran if in case it does happen. So they trying to. That's why the last time he came, they said that there was the most money given to that welfare state. This is why we gotta always constantly watch and see how things are playing out. We may think things okay. This another episode of world politics. Another episode of you know. Nah, it's not another episode of anything. These things are happening rapidly. Okay, right before us. It says then. Sorry, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand. Remember their nature. So they may not have things going their direction. They may get attacked, but some point of the battle, they're gonna get the upper hand. All right. Hey, even they said Saudi Arabia, which that's the spot of the end all to be all, don't want the United States of America to set up shop in Saudi Arabia to attack Iran. All right. I believe they're right now they're either protesting the Shah, like they're protesting the Shah. Well, I don't know if it because the brother I put it up because of the Epstein list, but they're having problems in that region as well. But that land area has a major part to take place for this great gathering of nations. Okay, so during this battle, like the anime so candidly showed us.
My name?
Anyone does that, right? Which so candidly show us they're gonna get the upper hand. They're going to look at these guys. This is them getting the upper hand. Like, all right, they leave us no other choice. And they're backed up by China and Russia. And this is not no, we just shake hands. No, this is like family coming together. There's a lot at stake right now. There's a whole lot at stake. This is life and death. All right. And all this is part of this great reset, because once this war takes place, the economy crashes. All right. People are losing their jobs anyway, but more people are going to lose their jobs. More people are going to lose greatly. And why? Because this is exactly how they want it. They want a chaotic scene where in the background there's a world war, and when there's a war, whoever's in power remains in power, and they get to be the dictator that they so desire. All right, and when they and being the dictator, then the people that serve them is going to be under them, and they have nothing to say. There's a lot when war happens outside, uh, wherever it is at, and within. And if they have it their way, well, during this whole thing, it will be martial law. They would. We already know they're building up concentration camps. I mean, right now the U.S. Olympic Winter Olympics is coming, and the U.S. team, they're talking bad about the United States and the whole ICE drama, which the president's catching a titty attack, which proves that there is a great divide within the United States. So if there's division within the states, how much more outside of the states? So now the country's divided, the world's divided against, and the only allies that you really have is um, is Israel, because the European nations that have nuclear capability, they're not, they're highly upset with America right now, and because this guy Trump has been going literally ape shit. Okay, so there's a whole lot of things happening, but one way or another, Iran's gonna remember they're gonna remember their state, which that goes into Joel the third chapter when it speaks up, wake up the mighty men. Iran at one point was the Persian Empire, all right, and then became the Carmanian, and there's another empire there they had, start with a P, not Persia, but all these empires that was under them that they were a part of. So yeah, they barked up the right tree. They're fucking with the right one, because fucking with them is going to lead to World War III. And when World War III takes place, the end of World War III is the end of America and that land of Israel. So with that being said, I don't want to make this too long. Shalom to the elect of the nations. Shalom.